How are you, buddy?
Oh, great. I sat through all 4 hours of that World Cup ceremony, the draw. Pretty long. They couldn't get to the point, but we're here now. And once again, fate houses facing each other.
What do you mean 4 hours? You didn't like Infantino and Trump all buddying and kissing each other? No.
We could do a whole episode of what I thought about all that. And it was just this is when people on the NFL, NBA, when they're always talking about keep politics out of football, all of a sudden they're really quiet about that today.
Brian, so we are here, and like you said, here we are facing each other again. So, what's your thoughts? What's your initial thoughts on this group, and your thoughts on facing Sonny? So, Brian, I'm not sure if you watched the '98 World Cup, but we faced each other there as well. But 2018 is the one fresh on everyone's mind. We helped you get to the round of 16. And
That picture you're showing of me with the sombrero with the beer in hand, that is
yeah.
actually after you guys scored the goal
Oh,
against Germany. That was me celebrating that going through, thanks to you guys. I'm excited. It's always a good time with my Korean friends. It's unfortunate that this is a difficult group. I don't care what anybody's saying.
mm,
This is going to be a tough group. The winner between I think it's going to be Ireland. Ireland is going to be coming in swinging. I mean, you saw how they handled Portugal.
mm,
I think they get it over Denmark. In that whole playoff, it's so weird now. It used to be you went off to a one game playoff and that was it. Now they're making a whole other tournament.
mm.
But
Yeah.
this is a difficult group. Nobody's easy. I hate people that think that way. And facing Sonny now that he is with LAFC is difficult because in 2018 we had Carlos Vela that played for LAFC.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're still going to have some LAFC representation here. It's just going to be so. It's so weird. And you can get on me for this. I'm used to cheering against Sun club wise. Okay,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know it. So this is not something entirely new, but
Yeah.
to cheer against a player that on a national sense, I know a lot of the USA folks had to do it when the US played Wales in
Yeah.
2022, and Gareth Bale, before he announced he was retiring,
Yeah.
was still an LAFC player, and things were kind of conflicted and stuff. So now I'm on that seat. With this last friendly that we just played a couple of months ago, it wasn't so much more that I was cheering against Son. I was happy that he wasn't on, and the second he comes on, he scores. So it's going to be difficult. I don't have all the confidence in the world in Mexico right now. They're playing.
Really?
They've been
Mm.
playing really ugly. It's been really
Oh,
depressing seeing Mexico from 2018 and on. Sure, they've been doing well in CONCACAF, but let's be honest. I mean, did you see the qualifiers for CONCACAF? We didn't have to qualify, and if we did, I probably
yeah.
think we wouldn't have if we were in a
Mm.
host nation. It's really rough right now. Our manager is the same. The South Africans are going to come in and like, hey, is that the
Mhm.
same guy that was managing them in 2010?
Mm.
And it is a lot of uncertainty with Mexico right now. We do have some gems. We have Mora, who's young,
Uh-huh.
and who's basically the future of Mexico right now. And we have the in between players. Raul Jimenez with his last
Yeah.
dance. I think Santiago Jimenez, if he
Oh, yeah.
comes back from his injury, and he's in
Yeah.
a
He's
funk
on
right
fire.
now. He's in a
Yeah.
funk. And there is some hope. Edson Alvarez, always a beast in the midfield, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty concerned. And if we're not careful, I definitely think Korea can take this group for sure.
Okay, okay. Let me translate that because that's
Yeah.
different from the Korean fans' view. So hold your thought. 지금 자국에서 하는 월드컵인데도 불구하고 기대치가 본인은 평생 멕시코 팬이었는데 기대치가 굉장히 낮다고 해요, 지금. 그래서 대한민국이 조 1위를 할 수 있다고 합니다. 그래서 제가 다시 한번 물어볼게요. 왜냐면 이 형님은 우리 감독이 그분인 줄을 모르고 있거든요, 지금. 그래서 이 형님이 이강인, 손흥민, 이강인, 김민재만 보고 대한민국이 지금 조 1위를 할 수 있다고 생각하는 건지, 지금 왜 대한민국이 1위를 할 거라고 생각을 하는지, 왜 멕시코가 못할 거라고 생각하는지 한 번 더 물어보겠습니다. So Brian, so I mean, you said Korea could possibly take the group, and you said you're not confident on Mexico L3. But our thought in general is, and my thought is Mexico, the host nation, the home advantage, a lot of talent, always makes it out of the group no matter what. So I personally think,
Let's be careful there. For the
huh?
first time in my lifetime, Mexico did not make it out of the group in 2022,
That's
and
right.
it
Yes,
was depressing. We
yes,
had it, and
fair enough.
it's frustrating. So we're living in a new timeline now. All that before the
Fair enough.
Mexico, the CONCACAF giant that they've won, they are one
Yeah.
of the most winning nations out there. But after 2022, everything changed.
I mean, but to us, Mexico is Mexico, and it's home nation, and Korea is Korea. Like, I mean, I love my country, but we have Sonny, yes, we have Kim Min-jae, Bayern defender, center back. We have Lee Gang-in, PSG. So we have some good pieces there, but going to Mexico, high altitude, playing away, South Africans, I mean, they're probably thinking what we are thinking, like thinking they can take on us. Like you said, Ireland or whoever comes up there is not going to be easy for us. So I can tell you, Korean fans are not thinking we can take the group. We're thinking second or third in the group, and let's just make it out of the group.
I'm saying if they're not careful, the thing about Mexico too
I,
is that I'm leaving out is that a lot of the times when it comes to waking up, they wake up at the right time. So they may surprise. Before 2014, Mexico was horrible. They were doing almost pathetic. They almost got left out of the World Cup if it wasn't for the USA bailing them out. 2018 did a little better, but then ended up crashing out. 2022 was just a mess. Going into 2026, I'm not too convinced of the playing style. I'm not too convinced with the players as a whole. I do think, yeah, they can wake up. The common thought is that Mexico is going to walk away with the group, but
mm,
that is the kind of mentality that gets the Mexican national team in danger. That is the
mm,
kind of cockiness. That is the kind of attitude that's done really bad for us right now because this is the last call for a lot of these players. And
mm,
as talented as our youth can be, I don't really see them carrying the torch
mm,
for the next one. So
mm,
we got to do something here. And like you said, it's at home. But hey, if anybody knows about hosting and crashing out at home, it's South Africa. Granted, they don't have the players that
yeah.
we do on paper, but games aren't won on paper. Games are won on the pitch. I bet you
Mm,
nobody had Germany crashing out in the group stage in 2018 against
yeah.
against both of us. Nobody had what transpired in that. Also, we didn't have Sweden
Mm,
kicking us that bad either. But like I said, football is not played on paper. You got to play it on the pitch. I can tell you right now that on paper, and to your Korean people too, you guys may look like the underdog and just trying to scrape by and
mm,
get second or third out of the group.
mm,
But I'm telling you right now that the way Mexico is playing is not inspiring any confidence at all. And I hope
mm,
that by the time we get close to the World Cup, it's
mm.
completely different. But right now, it's looking very murky.
지금 웃긴 상황이긴 한데 아까 누가 말씀해 주셨는데 채팅으로 지금 서로 우리 팀이 못한다고 얘기 중이거든요. 아무튼 근데 이 형님께 일단 우리 감독 이슈를 조금 얘기해 볼까 해요. 어떻게 생각하는지. So Brian, I think that's I mean that's a good insight because from outside you can think one thing, but nobody knows Mexico national team better than you and your Mexican fans. Nobody knows Korea team better than me and our followers, right? So I think it's good to hear your thoughts there. But something maybe you're not aware of is our manager. So this manager in 2014 Brazil World Cup, he was in charge. So this is his second time at a go at the World Cup. Last time Algeria, Russia, uh, Belgium, and we got killed by Algeria 4-1. Didn't make it out of the group, and that's not a hard group, right? We had Russia, Algeria, so nobody really believes in this manager. And I'll tell you one thing is this manager doesn't really like Sonny for some reason. He has some interesting says some interesting things. A couple months ago, he said And a reporter asked him this. He said, "So who's gonna be the captain at the World Cup? Is it gonna be Sonny?" And his answer was, "It could be Sonny. It could maybe it's not gonna be Sonny." So everybody knows from outside and inside. The whole world knows when you think about Korea team, it's Sonny, and the captain is Sonny. You have to build a team around him, and you see what he's doing in the PL and now the MLS. Like, but this guy always talks about like downplay Sonny's role in the team and his impact, and so it's very controversial, and fans don't like that. And he's not showing any promise with his tactics either. He's playing back three, back five, and it's not looking too great. So
It's funny you say that. Going on Sonny real quick. Sonny is a generational player. He can come in, and even if he comes in off the bench, he can change the game. We don't really have that in Mexico. I don't think you could tell me a player
mm,
right now that could tear it up. We used to, but it's not like Chucky Lozano is going to come in and change the dynamic of
he
the
used
game.
to
He's way
be.
he's way beyond that.
Mm.
But I'll tell you this: another fun fact is that our manager too also used to manage the Mexican national team. In 2010, Javier Aguirre, we tied with South Africa first game. We
Uh-huh.
beat France 2-0, but let's be honest, that France was on a mutiny. They wanted the manager out. The players weren't playing with their heart. It was an embarrassment for France. I think he got fired after. I think that's when Benzema started getting banned from the national team and all that drama started. And we lost to Uruguay. We go on to the round of 16, and this whole tournament, Ochoa, this is Ochoa's time.
Mm,
He is the
yes,
best keeper in Mexico. He
yes.
doesn't put him on. For some reason, he puts on this guy, Conejo Perez, who's on the twilight of his career, brings him on against Argentina in the round of 16. He brings on this guy, Bofo Bautista, out of shape. Dude was not supposed to be the guy. He brings out Cuauhtemoc Blanco against Argentina, too. And we lose 3-1. It was crazy. There was a goal that was supposed to be offsides that they didn't call, but that's where VAR started.
Hmm.
Um, but it was just it was pathetic, and he makes
Wow.
these radical changes. So we're sort of in the same situation. We have a goalkeeper situation where we don't know who's going to start. Our defense is they're solid, but they're not quite there. Our forwards, Raul shows the best version of himself against Honduras and
Hmm.
against Canada, and then completely goes missing against everybody else. Santiago Jimenez is still injured. So we're suffering right now too. We're going through some of the same things, except you have a player like Son who can change the
Mm,
game by himself. Raul
yeah.
Jimenez, our players, even Gilberto Mora, who's our next wonder kid,
Mm,
you could potentially change the game, but they count on the abilities of everybody around them, as opposed to a player like Son can just come in and single-handedly change the entire game by himself, like he has done with LAFC. And I know, and I've seen him do it with Korea as well. You give him a set piece, you give him a run. He's
yeah.
taking it, and he's going to be dangerous. I don't think we
Mhm,
have that kind of individualism with Mexico. That's going to be a
mhm,
little dangerous. And like I said, this manager is very old school. He's very to what he wants to do. He made those really bizarre changes in 2010 that
wow.
completely annihilated us. We might have had a fighting chance against Argentina. Argentina didn't do that well against Germany right after and got knocked out too. But yeah, we're basically going through almost the same exact thing.
So let me ask you this, Brian. But when you hear our manager saying, "Oh, Sonny, maybe he's not the captain at the next World Cup," when the World Cup is 7 months out, I mean, we think that's crazy talk. But from outside, what does that sound like?
It's very. See. I'm not. Like you're telling me right now. I'm not too familiar with the situation there. I kind
Mhm.
of think he's uh, taking the pressure. I can't read it. Maybe you have a better understanding. Sometimes managers do that to take the pressure off their star player. But if you're
Mm,
telling me he's more antagonizing him, then that's not good. I mean, I saw the result against Brazil, and
yeah.
it's not good. In other cases, managers do that to downplay it, take the pressure off the star player. Like Enzo Maresca said, we're not Cole Palmer FC. It was it was an Enzo. It was Pochettino. Pochettino,
Yeah.
when he was at Chelsea for that one season, said, we're not Cole Palmer FC. We
Yeah.
don't we're not going to rely on him." And guy gets injured and the team doesn't win anything. So I do think there is an over reliance on players that sometimes managers try to take care of. But in this case, if you're telling me it's more antagonistic, then I'm going to believe you 100%. Uh, I
Mm,
think. Uh, I think it's a very unfortunate and disappointing situation.
mhm.
I don't know what these managers have with Sonny. You know, he's an amazing talent. Um, but we're lucky to have him here in Los Angeles, and it's unfortunate that it's going like that with the
Yeah.
Korean manager. But I hope as you get closer to the World Cup, the fans make him realize how much this
Mm,
guy needs to carry the team on him.
mm.